Lesser known facts about the legendary Bruce Lee. 1. Bruce Lee was partly German. The fourth of 5 children, Bruce Lee's grandfather was a purebred German Catholic. This actually worked against him, as his non-pure Chinese status prevented his acceptance into some of the most prominent kung fu schools back in the 50s. 2. He was one of the first people to have tried contact lenses. Bruce suffered from nearsightedness, which explains why he favored Wing Chun's contact-centered movement, as it allowed him to rely more on touch than sight. He was also one of the first people to have used contact lenses, but because they were uncomfortable, he discontinued the usage. 3. Was a cha-cha dancing champion. Now this comes as a bolt of shock for most of us. We all know Bruce loved the cha-cha, but did you know he also won a dance competition back in Hong Kong? 4. Practiced 5,000 punches a day. Now that explains his prowess of ballistic, lightning-fast punches. He practiced 5,000 punches every day without fail. Even when he traveled, he carried a punching bag to practice his almighty punches. 5. Punctured cola cans with his fingers. Back when cans weren't made of soft, beaten sheets of aluminium, Bruce Lee punctured holes through them with just 2 fingers. 6. He had his sweat glands removed from his armpits. As twisted as this may sound, the legendary Wing Chun exponent did it purely for aesthetic reasons. Bruce Lee has both his sweat glands removed from his armpits and smelled fresh all day long, even after hours of practice. Did you even know that this was possible? 7. He wanted to fight Muhammad Ali. Great pitted against the greatest would have definitely been up there on the marquee, only if it had happened. Bruce was in total awe of Ali's in-ring exploits, his speed and the diabolic blows he administered when he was on top of his game. He often used to watch video footage of Ali's matches, trying to adopt some of his moves. 8. He inspired video game characters. Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat, Fei Long from Street Fighter 2 and Law from Tekken are the video game characters that are inspired by the great Bruce Lee. 9. He showed exemplary artistic skills. In addition to being the best martial arts practitioner in the world, Lee was also an amazingly talented sketch artist. 10. Bruce Lee carried a .367 Magnum for safety. Despite the fact that he was the most lethal fighter, he still carried a .367 Magnum in his holster for safety. He believed that fearing for your life is common if you have people wanting to fight you just to prove themselves. 11. He had an extensive library. His insatiable quest for knowledge and learning prompted him to have a library of his own, housing over 2,000 books. 12. He was adept at multitasking. Legend stands testimony to the fact that Bruce Lee could read a book, watch television and do dumbbell curls all at one time. 13. Lee couldn't win. Adept at land, Bruce was a failure at sea. He absolutely loathed water and couldn't swim at all. 14. He fought NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. His posthumous release titled Game of Death, 1978, featured him engaging in a duel with Lakers legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 15. Charged $275 an hour for private lessons in the 60s. Bruce Lee's tutelage was pricey. He used to charge $275 an hour for martial arts lessons. By today's standards, that is equivalent to $1,800. 16. He was a poet too. Lee had a penchant for poetry too. Excerpts of his poetic genius made it to his book, which was titled The Tao of Jeet Kune Do. A master at the word game, indeed. 17. He kick-started Jackie Chan's acting career. The young Jackie Chan got to feature alongside his idol in Enter the Dragon. Interesting fact, Lee accidentally kicked Chan in the head, which allowed the young Chan to spend some quality time at the sets with his biggest two fools.